Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are wrapping up Opus 15.5, I guess, the Crystal Dominion. It's going to be the last episode of Tales from the Dominion. Next week, hopefully, we move into Tales from the Emissaries. We're going to keep doing these Tale series. Hope you guys, at least I hope you guys want me to continue this series. These are my final decks for the set, pretty much. We have Earth, Water, Robel, Twins Control, and I haven't really played this one too much. I got a brief taste of it, but I've been focusing on the other one so much. But I'd like to think that this Guardian deck is going to move into the meta a little bit. There's going to be a lot of changes, of course, but with the new cards. But this is the current version I had built, and we'll talk about all of these, right? So for me, this one was kind of supposed to be my main answer to the meta, right? I don't think it ultimately worked out the way I had thought. My game plan overall in general was to benefit from Robel, Lakshmi, and then the Sophie to draw a large amount of cards and maintain value while just pushing with everyone else. Right, like being able to play Braskas for free and recur Lena's Gao's. Use Lena to recur Gao Sophie and Cryo if needed. Kadaj just for more control and like a few just kind of bullying in general. And one of Leviathan for like closers and stuff like that. The Mist Dragons Atamos, very useful. Sildras, Fenrir, and Hecatons were also like. They were interchangeable at times, and I guess you can call them flex picks, right? You can kind of like use these to like fill in what you thought would be best to use at the time. I found the Fenrir put in so much work, a lot, breaking backups and reborning somebody, bringing someone back from the break zone was great. I'm actually getting more and more fond of this card as I use it. I'm still making silly mistakes trying to cast it on my opponent's turn, but it's fine. I'll get used to it. Alchemist. Alchemist is a fantastic card. I've come to appreciate this one so much more. It's like Meath, but better, right? Because it literally swaps out your dead draws for what you're looking for. And when you're able to recur with Robel at multiple times, you're always kind of filtering for exactly what you need. I'd actually probably bump this up to 2 at the end. The Crystal Generators. Miner is also a flex pick. White Mage was just, keep Robel coming back. Ultimecia was fun because the 2 drops were so relevant and might continue to be relevant. I think this and Alzur will see a lot more play probably as they go forward. And then you have your regular Tyros and Shantotos. So it's pretty much just always board clearing or value, right? Like there's 2 directions in this deck, and then the Braska and Kadaj to bully out. So next was the Twins Control. Now this one I started once I started being more involved in the meta, I guess, right? Because this is the Earth Robel is more like my pet deck, and then the Control deck is kind of like answers. It's just the higher tier deck probably, as you could call it. The Twins are very strong. Once they get going, there's no way to stop them. It's really hard to stop them, right? So the concept here is to increase that, right? Like how to prevent any actual like answers going down the road, right? And so playing 6 Jets is absurdly fun. When you have Jet out and you have like at least 2 of these, an Amaterasu, and then a blank and a damage. And then or a Leviathan, right, to reduce incoming damage, or if you're at 5 damage, which you kind of usually let yourself go to, so you can have this live. That way, nobody can be targeted by anything. It just feels so good, like to just kind of stop your opponent at every turn. The Brynhilders, Amaterasus, Atomoses, Bahamut's, and Remoras. I have the Mind Flayers in here because sometimes it takes us a while to get here. Sometimes, right? So we supplement, stealing forwards, hopefully, from our opponent, and to kind of like give us a little more breathing room. The backup line is actually very chill and efficient, I guess, right? I know we're only running 14, but The Sarah pretty much like feels like it gets enough, and then the other everything gets something, right? Like not everything, but the Artemisian cleans up, Moody gets the summons, Alchemist fixes, and then the Lenora's and Sarah's search, right? The summoners are very useful, obviously, because we have a few autos, and you want to protect from certain spells, leave our break zone intact. The reason we still play summoner, obviously, because some of the better ones are 3 cost, right? Some of the most threatening ones are 3 costs. The Black Mage is probably the only one I end up messing around with. Like, I usually put another Moody or a Zaz for more EX burst. The choose just a 1-of just in case, right? Like, in case we run into anybody who's reducing damage innately. The only change we kind of roll around is 2 or 3 Susanos between the Terras or maybe the Mashri. I don't know. The Mashri is great all the time too, but I just can't find myself to like her as a card. Next is the 10 deck, right? So this is not only a rough but general idea of my 10 deck, of what I would like to start practicing with and playing with. I know someone was asking me about it, so I wanted to showcase this as well. Very important that you have the triple Arns, the triple Wakas. I think Lulu's not as important, so I kept her at 1 for now. Titus is very important. The Yuna's also very important. The Jet, I think, is the same feeling I have with the Palom Porom control. You play 6 mainly to, search them out infinitely and like always have the answer, right? 2 Kimaris just for a little added protection, and then summons are Bismarck, Chocobo, Leviathan, and Sildra. 2 Typhon, and then we have a similar like Sarah package. The thing here is better that Sarah gets more things. The very important Althea, a Fiona just in case, and Princess Sarah, right? And same thing, and then we have Alchemist, Summoner, Scholars, and Luzaf, and obviously the 10 Searcher brother. Main idea, if you guys haven't played with it or against it or whatever, is you kind of just want to take advantage of Auron, Waka Auron, right? Like, because he builds up those counters and then he kills something. Auron kind of protects everyone else while drawing you a card, right? And once you have enough, Titus is pretty much free, and he searches you the Jet, right? And then Jet, once you have the Water Jet out, you can recur him. If you find a way to lift him, right? We have the Chocobos, we have Althea, we have a Bismarck, we have a 1 Scholar and the 2 Aeriths for this. You just keep playing Titus for more Jets. And then once you have 2 or 3 Jets in hand, you kind of just say no to everything, right? Like when they're swinging out, Titus will pump everyone by 2. And that's usually enough for you to get over stuff. If not, we'll figure it out. We just party attack. We have other options, right? We have a few other outs here, like the Typhon, and then really Waka's just there to like blow people away, like get them out of here. So the deck is pretty simple. Once you play it a few times, you kind of get the swing of things. The Yuna is also very important. Obviously, she just when she comes in, she brings back one of these guys, or activates your backups if you're in that kind of position, but. There's, again, the Luzaf is also one of the ways to bring back and kind of like throw your opponent off. If they're in a position of power, right? Like if they have their forwards out or whatever, and then like cards in hand, and you try to play the Yuna, the Amaterasu, and then they try to Amaterasu you or whatever, or even the Titus before you get your other Jets, you can just Luzaf, play it, bring whoever it is back. Ideally, it's the Titus, right? Like if you kind of bait it with the Titus first because he's free, and then you play your units, and then they'll remove something, then you can play your card again. But yeah, these are probably how we wrap up the last days of Opus 15, the Crystal Dominion. Next week, like I said, we're starting hopefully fresh. I don't know what I'm going to start with. I have like 10 decks built on FFX. We have Knights, Mono Earth, Rydia, Mono Wind. I have this one. What else? But I don't. This is the old version, right? I don't have the new version with new cards updated yet. I'm not sure what's going to fit in here, Wrench, because outside of these 10 cards, there's only one Titus that's in there, but we have this Titus is better for this kind of deck. The other one's good in general for pretty much every other water-based, like any deck that shares water as a color. So yeah, it's going to be interesting which way we go, and I'm also very curious as to see how this competes with that. This might actually become the aggro version of the meta, like the aggro deck for the next set, like because there's going to be so many decks playing control, in my opinion, that this is going to be the one that says, nah, we're going to just go wide and go in, and then I'm just going to stop everything with jets. So other tech cards are obviously the Zidane. I guess tech and flex picks, right? You can mess with the Aeriths, you can mess with the Zidanes, you can change your numbers with Lulu there, you have 4 slots. The Typhons are also probably, I like it at 2, but you can probably cut one if you're really not like feeling it. Same thing, you can probably mess with Kimari's numbers here, and the Bismarck, right? So you have, yeah, the Bismarck here. You have a few other spots there to like mess with, but, oh, and the Sin's just the just in case kind of thing, right? We need something else to cancel auto abilities while we wait for Jet, if need be, and then your opponent couldn't use actions during their turn, right? Like if you kind of just want to put them out and then let them do their thing, just hold them off for another turn, maybe that helps. That's also your flex picks. So we have about 2, 4, 6, 8, maybe 9 to 10 cards we can mess with coming into the next set. The backup line's not sad either, right? Like, well, these 7 are, in my opinion, these 8 are. These 7 and 8 with the Luzaf. The rest are kind of like, you can kind of change around. Well, the Princess Sarah goes with the Sarah. But Fiona's just in case I run out of FFCC stuff. He's also for just switch out forwards, right? Like if I have too many Yunas and not enough Blankas or Arins or, you know, whatever, I get someone else. She just gets me exactly what I need. That's the thing, right? You always want to have the right answer, so I put all of these in here to get you exactly what you need. In terms of cost, right? You know, it's the starter deck plus the few money cards, right? Which are just the Sarahs and the Altheas, I think. I don't think anyone else. Oh, maybe the Chocobos, right? I think the Chocobos have gone up. Yeah, according to this, there's 13, and these are 8, right? That's really all you're looking for, money-wise. They're probably the most expensive cards in the set. You don't need these full art or foil, so those haven't been updated. Zidanes are $5, but if your local GameStop has the promo still, then get them. And that's it. Yeah, as far as money goes, those are the expensive ones. It's gonna be Chocobo and Sarah. For this one, it's just the twins, right? Oh, they haven't even updated those. Yeah, it's just the twins, but they're not pricey either. Like, you're looking at less than a 150 here too. I'm trying to see what would be the money cards here. The Amaterasu's, right? Duh. These are 25 a piece, but hopefully the reprint gets them, makes it a little cheaper. And then here, this one's a little pricier, right? Because we have more elves. Your Shofis are still 22, I guess. Robels are probably there. Kadages. Oh, Leviathans are expensive. And Braskas are still expensive, yeah. And then Mist Dragons probably a little bit, yeah. And Totos, of course. Well, yeah, guys. Anyway, that's going to wrap up this one. We're going to say goodbye to Opus 15.5, the sets. Yeah, so anyway, that's it, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.